I'll start. But both prizes are awarded by the University Fund, so don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, sine titulis, I like that. The University Fund honors outstanding researchers, so we'll go to that prize after having handed over the prize for another type of reward we give, namely for outstanding alumni. Every 3 years, we invite people to nominate candidates for the Outstanding Alumnus Award, and this is one of these years. We have received quite a few nominations of very high caliber for this prize, pointing to alumni in different fields in the midst of their public careers or careers in the private sector, in entrepreneurship, in science, in policy, or in general leadership roles. And we put together a jury of 3 to carefully judge and compare these nominations. The jury consisted of Niels Lauwers, who is the outstanding alumnus who received the prize 3 years ago, and Wouter Hendricks, the Dean of Research representing this university, and myself on behalf of the University Fund. I must say the 3 of us had a very difficult task. This is not just a platitude, it was really difficult. But of course, as you expect, we found a winner. And the winner of this year's Outstanding Alumnus Award is Dr. Charudut Mishra. Charudut Mishra received its PhD in 2001 in ecology and natural resource conservation. He has since published more than 90 research papers, but more important than this, within the context of this award, is his life dedication to extending conservation science to social welfare and sound local government policy in the countries where he works. Mishra has set up community-based wildlife conservation and conflict resolution programs, and in this work, he combines research and exploration, teaching and guiding students, and working with governments to develop wildlife reserves, formulate conservation policies, and encourage international cooperation. He has done this successfully in Kyrgyzstan, India, China, Pakistan, and a number of other countries, the Russian Federation, for instance. He leads the International Snow Leopard Trust in Seattle, and he's a founder and senior scientist of the Nature Conservation Foundation in India. He has received many earlier awards for his animal and plant protection and sustainable development work in the UK, in the Netherlands, and in India. Dr. Mishra's personality and social skills allow him to make fundamental Muslims, Buddhists, capitalists, and communists work together. So he must be a master of dialogue. And he moves effortlessly from the level of local villages to governors at regional level and even state leaders. We feel Wageningen University can be very proud of the contributions he makes to community conservation and of the way he succeeds in bringing his insights into practice in very difficult physical and political climates. It is therefore that we award Dr. Charudut Mishra with this award, with this year's Outstanding Alumni Prize. Now, the jury only reached this verdict less than a week ago, so it was impossible for Dr. Mishra to come over here, but he will be able to follow this and see these words through University TV. And also, we are happy to know that the Professor Waardenburg from Erasmus University is here in the room on behalf of the family of Dr. Mishra. He, Professor Waardenburg, was also there during his promotion 20 years ago, representing the family, and he will no doubt be able to bring across the words that are spoken here. As he is not here, I will just point to the award. not knowing where it is.
I don't know either.
I hope you believe it exists and that we will make sure he gets it. Thank you. So I'd now like to give the floor to Professor Bas Swaan.
Okay.
To hand out the Outstanding Research Award.
Thank you very much. So, I always have to adjust the microphones. So, there you go. It's my honor to be here to award the University Fund Wageningen Research Award. This also used to be a 3-yearly prize, but as of a year ago, it was actually a yearly prize. I think this is very fit because I think we should pride ourselves on our excellent research, and we can actually award one, I think, every year rather than every 3 years. Also, this year we received some very good nominations, but I think there could be more. So a plea to all of you, please nominate your excellent paper in your group or that you know of from our university so that this prize can really grow in its reputation. Having said that, we had some very nice and some very interesting paper, which makes the work of the jury enjoyable and extremely interesting. It's also fair to say that, so usually one says it was very difficult and very hard. In this case, the dialogue between the jury was very uniform, and it was quite easy to converge on a winner. And I think the winning paper can now be presented. The paper is called Origin and Evolution of the Nuclear Auxin Response System. And the two first authors were Sumat Muti and Dr. Iratako Kato. So a warm applause to them. So I'm already shake your hand, but so there should be 2 persons, but unfortunately only one of the authors could be here. And I would very much like to read the judicium of the jury to you, so to put the paper in a bit of context. So in many organisms, hormones play a central role in regulating key biological events and traits, including development and growth. It is striking that the same hormone can elicit different responses in different tissues of the same organisms, as well as causing remarkable differences between species. Clearly, this means that the way that the tissues respond and the mechanisms by which they do so are major contributors to the marvelous biodiversity we see around us every day. Indeed, the inspiration for the research described in this award-winning paper comes from the collective research from laboratories all over the world that have uncovered the enormous complexity in the way plant cells respond to the canonical hormone auxin. The paper elegantly tackles the questions of the evolutionary origin of this complexity and how it has contributed to what one might call evolutionary innovations. And the authors did this in several ways. So first, the authors designed a custom-made bioinformatic analysis and applied it to more than 1,000 plant species to map which of the known auxin response proteins the genomes of these species contained. This information allowed them to go back in evolutionary time to identify when the auxin response first appeared in the tree of life of plants and algae. It appears more than 450 million years ago. By mapping all these auxin components and by using the time sequence that evolution provides, the paper reconstructs how the auxin response was built from these components and first became functional at a transition from water to land. Moreover, as appeared to be often the case in the evolution of complexity, the auxin response developed from a pre-existing genetic regulator that was already and is already present in algae, a process that is called co-option. But this is not where the paper stopped. I think it's clear that this alone would be a reward-winning paper, but it's not where the paper stops. What is especially impressive about the work of Sumat Mutte and Hiratago Kato is that in basal plant lineages, they experimentally reconstructed the different evolutionary steps they uncovered to indeed show that the full complement of the components led to the responses that, to auxin that they predicted. So a final, I think, key aspect of this paper is that it is truly a collaborative effort. It combines the expertise of the contributing authors very effectively and innovatively. It follows a tried and tested scientific approach from observation and describing patterns to formulating hypotheses that are subsequently experimentally tested. The paper provides answers to a pressing question in plant biology, and by doing so it has opened up possibilities for new research lines, both applied and fundamental, related to auxin biology. And the paper will stimulate similar approaches related to hormones regulation and the generation of biodiversity in other organisms as well. This paper provides an outstanding example of the research excellence that Wageningen University and research is capable of, thus a deserved winner of the University Fund Wageningen Research Award. The good news is that I actually have a prize. So the first part of the prize is actually the plaquette or a remembrance of winning this award. Second, the Wageningen tree. And although obviously the honor of this prize is it should be enough, but there's also a check worth €2,500 for you to spend and your co-author. So congratulations again.
Thank you, everyone. I'm extremely honored. Thank you, University Fund Wageningen, for this recognition. It is a great pleasure, and I'm nervous. You can all see that. No. But I'm really happy, and I would like to thank Hiro actually, and also congratulate him because without his support, this wouldn't have been possible. So I'm really happy to be here. It was a great experience to collaborate, and it was a very good teamwork. So thank you, Hiro, and congratulations. I'm sure you're following this. And this wouldn't have been possible without the support or vision of a great mentor, and I'm lucky to have one. Thank you, Dolph, for being such a great mentor. Without you, without your vision or interdisciplinary knowledge, this wouldn't have been possible. So thank you very much for being a great mentor, and I would like to continue working in a similar way. Thank you very much. And finally, I would like to thank all my family and friends, my wife who is sitting here in the audience and witnessing this. I would like to thank everyone for your continuous support at the Laboratory of Biochemistry. Thank you very much.